Donald Trump had a full and complete mental breakdown just a couple days ago after Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, who, in Trump's first term, he put him there. But Jerome Powell came out last week and, as the reports state, basically rang every single possible alarm bell about how horrible the U.S. economy is performing and what we can expect in the future. And, as Powell pointed out while ringing those alarm bells, it's pretty much 100% because of Donald Trump and his policies and his complete lack of understanding about all things economy. Trump didn't take too kindly to that. He has been picking fights with Jerome Powell ever since he got back into office, wanting him to cut interest rates, which of course would cause hyperinflation and an economic crash almost immediately if that were to happen, which is why it didn't happen during the Biden years. Powell, together with the Biden administration, worked to raise interest rates in times of hyperinflation, which actually caused inflation to fall because fewer people were borrowing money, fewer people were making big ticket purchases. So spending shrank, which caused inflation to also shrink. You lower interest rates, more people borrow money, there's more spending, inflation goes up as spending goes up. So Trump wants that to happen, but Powell, who's not a complete and total moron, says absolutely not. But this past week, Powell did say we're keeping interest rates the same. We're not raising them, but we're also not lowering them. So a very angry Trump got on Truth Social and said this: "Too late, Jerome Powell is a fool who doesn't have a clue. Other than that, I like him very much." Oh, you and your jokes. Goodness gracious. Oh, somebody watch this guy, right? Oil and energy way down, almost all costs, grocery and eggs down, virtually no inflation. Tariff money pouring into the U.S., the exact opposite of too late. Enjoy. Now, let's go ahead and talk about a few things. I've already addressed the fact that oil prices are down at this particular moment because we're not in a travel period, folks. You give it another 2 weeks as schools get out. We're already seeing colleges obviously get out. When schools get out and we officially enter that summer break period, what happens every single year? And I know this because I reported on gasoline prices and the oil industry for roughly 15 years. Prices are going to go up. They go down when there is no travel. They go up when there is travel periods. That's why you see gas prices go up around Thanksgiving, around spring break, around Christmas time, throughout the summer. But if it's an election year, you'll always see them typically go down depending on the party in charge around September, October. So there is a method to this, and there's a pattern. And again, you spend as much time reporting on this and researching it as I have over the last 15 years. The pattern is very obvious, and I can recite it to you in my sleep. So, oil prices are down, but that has nothing to do with Donald Trump. They will be going back up in about 2 weeks, mark my words. Costs of groceries are down. That's just flat out not true. Grocery prices are up. Egg costs have not decreased by any substantial margin. They're still higher than they were a year ago. They may not be as high as they were back in March, but they're still higher than they were last March. So no, and the cost of regular groceries, of course, have also gone up. Your dollar at the grocery store is buying less than it did last year. Trump is lying about that. No inflation. Inflation is increasing, which is why the prices are going up. So he's lying to you about everything. But here is what Powell said. This is what set Donald Trump off and caused him to have this mental breakdown. If the large increases in tariffs, Trump's policy, that have been announced are sustained, they're likely to generate a rise in inflation, a slowdown in economic growth, which we're already experiencing, and an increase in unemployment. The effects on inflation could be short-lived, reflecting a one-time shift in the price level. It is also possible that the inflationary effects could instead be more persistent. Avoiding that outcome will depend on the size of the tariff effects, on how long it takes for them to pass through fully into prices, and ultimately on keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Well, Donald Trump doesn't understand most of those words, so of course he's mad. But here's the thing. Trump continues to lie to us about the tariffs. He continues to lie to us about these so-called trade deals he's working out. And he's lying about what's happening in the economy. All of his lies, whether he believes them or not, that's just irrelevant at this point. That doesn't matter because we're not going to use the 25th Amendment to show that he's insane and can't serve in office. So his motivation behind it, his beliefs in them doesn't matter. What matters is that he is acting based on his lies. His lies are tanking the economy. His lies are taking money out of your pocket now, folks. He doesn't care. He is trying to tell you that supply chain shortages are good. Inflation that you see every day does not exist. Ignore all the evidence. I am great. Y'all are stupid. And Jerome Powell has no idea what he's talking about. But other than that, I really like the guy. He's making jokes while Powell is warning him that you're destroying the economy in a record amount of time. Thank you, everyone, for your continued support of us here at Fair and Balanced, and I want to introduce something completely new. We have now opened up memberships for our fans, and by signing up and becoming a member, you not only get exclusive early access to each day's videos, so you will get to see them a day before the general public, but you will also qualify for badges, emojis, special little icons. So please, we encourage everyone, if you want to help support the channel, please think about signing up and becoming a member. It is your support that helps keep us going. So thank you all very much. Check out the perks of membership, and I hope to see you all as members very soon.